that spawn because you can't smoke it? Are we going to see a lot of teams just leave it now? They're going to fall back, they're going to hang on that site, they're going to throw their flashes and not rely on immediate facing.
I think that's the problem, right? We'll see as the meta changes, but still early in there towards Carp. The T's slowly working their way in through Banana, but they could obviously fake this. You have Aussie, they're holding for a push towards second mid Ats, but I actually think somehow, some way, Robin's got past him.
Very, very weird stuff going on. Robin,
Oh my god.
in such a pivotal position now. He's got all of the information. He's in a situation where if providing he doesn't make noise, he's going to be there to also to take down a whole lot of players. There's so much he could do, but he was spotted. That singular jump he made, that singular drop, gives it up. Snaky going to hold from, you see both of those T players holding down towards him in a little crossfire. And one that is certainly all but heart-shaped as Infused. Hitting themselves their first frag of the round, and now step by step inch up towards this B site. It's going to be Slicky playing over towards Coffin, trying to make the best of this angle. It's very kind of one and done sort of style though, because you can pick up one, but the minute you try and reface for a second, it's so easy for that T side just to get that headshot in return. Shiki trying to deliver a bit more headshot action over on towards this connected position.
He can go B. He can go for the wrap behind B. Slicky now needs to find multiple frags. You've got any chance of Fish123 taking this one, but already the T's have swarmed the bomb site. This is not looking good for Fish123.
Slicky just getting nothing done at all. Couldn't land a single frag there, a single shot even. And that puts so much pressure on towards the shoulder of Batham. He will find one in the process, tries to bring things back to a 2 versus 2. But even then, Shaq spraying through the smoke is always going to be a bit of a struggle. The CT side really got to make something out of nothing in this round yet again for them. Batham, a free peek though, somehow making this one stick. Snaky's angle though should really be the insurance for this T side to stop this retake from taking hold. Shiki snapping on towards his head. It is going to be a 1 versus 2. Tick, tick, tick is the bomb. Shiki to take him down.
Pistol 1 now for the T side. It's very hard as the CTs to hold off these T pistols because without the utility, without the counter-nades, the Molotovs to hold off these pushes, it's very easy for these T players to go for that contact play, right? Even though Robin he did, worked himself through the flanks, got behind the T players. As soon as he ran and jumped over, gave away where he was, and that did cement the first kill for the T's. And from there, burst the B-bomb site, GG easy.
Bungie with the UMP beginning to formulate this aggressive cone of fire that Infused are really beginning to stress now. It is going to be Slicky to try and really have a bit of a patch of biceps moment, but unfortunately, there is no strength in his arms today. Clearly, it's a bit of a workout as he's only able to find one. Robin with the CC does pick up a second for the CT side. Does bring it to a 3 versus 3, which if we see some mat that's coming from Batham with a deagle, could certainly make this one feasible. But at the same time, this is one hell of an arse of Batham now. A player that I was really kind of stressing on wanting to step up. Well, can he shine? There's going to be a smoke to really force him off further. Is going to push as well while that bomb point is going down, but unfortunately can't get that Angel, and it is so dastardly now for the CT side. If Stinky and Ozzy, Shaney, they can all find the picks. They can all find the frags. And Team Infused get themselves the 3rd round up. It's going to be a great little start. Getting themselves close to the 3rd round anyway. As Fish123 aren't being able to do anything at all in this round.
Exactly that. The full eco now for the CT side. High chances here that Infused make it to 3-0 in this round. Fish123. Nothing really brought up. USPs, Deagle there and Batham, but their goal here is to try and take 2 guns or more. They'll be happy with that. Try and take out as much of the investment the T's have made as they can with their just pistols.
Make some money as well, why not? Mac 10, of course, the prime one for that. RMG facing towards Banana, just right around that wall, jumps on over as well. Very at risk though to Batham's Deagle this time around, as that is going to be an easy shot to land if he decides to jump, so thankfully he's fallen back. Aussie going to be ready and waiting with a Molotov. The peak certainly going to come in from Robin any second now. Timing needs to be crucial here, as Aussie going to pick off one. Takes Robin down to 16 HP. That is not a big number. That's a tiny one in the grand scheme of Counter-Strike. Infused very, very slow here though. They don't want to take any risks at all, and I like this because all they've pretty much done is say, okay, here's our fishing rod, the bait is over at this B site Banana, while they walk on over towards A.
Stacked towards B from the CT side, but as you just mentioned there, that was all just a ruse, a bait. Infused, they plant A, 5 players alive, these SMGs they can hunt, push and try and take down these unarmored USPS and P2K opponents and try and stack up as much cash as possible. Now Aussie, that's the first, Leggy does walk into his crosshair. 600 there. Finds him in hand, chucks it away, thinks, you know what, I want 300 quid extra.
Why not? Money is everything after all, right? As it is going to be Shaq with his Good old sidearm with USP to try and pistol whip his opposition. And he's going to get away with it actually on towards Lumgy, but not unscathed, as it is going to be Fish123 to still have to try and cut their losses here. Aussie going to find himself one. The Deagle magic not going to take hold at all for Fish across the board. The Shaq is still the last man with a USP. There's not really too much he can ask for. Team Infused, for the most part clean, aside from losing Lumgy, get themselves their third round, just as expected, as we almost jumped the gun with that. But the prophecy, it ends here. Fish123, they're on the buy now. The rifles all entering the fold.
Exactly that. Rifles coming in. And you see rifles, but actually 2 SMGs they're safe for Team Infused. How are they going to play these SMGs, right? Are they going to go play Banana? Are they going to go for the out control of the close-ranged submachine guns? It's looking like without the AWP, Fish123, they don't want to challenge and test towards Banana. And with the lack of smoke, it's going to be very easy for Infused to slowly work themselves up Banana. And from that, who knows?
It is going to be these rifles holding in pretty much the standard Inferno crossfire, right? You see this all the time on the old Inferno, and now we get to see it all over again. Now, hopefully, that vintage magic can pull through for Infused if they side towards this push. Banana, of course, always have a good opportunity to throw their flashes, dismantle that crossfire by getting that 1 versus 1 on towards Robin. And from there, the B site can be completely spouted upon. But for now, a minute on the clock. Yes, Banana has been taken, but they're not really doing too much else with it. They're just kind of sitting tight. They're creeping forward, in fairness to them, but that's about it.
Yep. Once the smoke dissipates, though, that's when things could go south. The Fish123 side, Batham with a new angle. I've actually seen this one before. It's so hard for them to be spotted. Sprays down one player, but the instant trade there from Lungy. Robin, though, finds 2 towards Coffin and slowly pulls back. Snaky and Shiki find fire. Look at the 2 versus 2 and through the smoke. The gap in the smoke. Shiki puts 12 HP.
That gives all the information up now for this D side. It's great for them, but unfortunately, they are going to have to play out a 1 versus 1. Snaky with the UMP tries to stay on through, has a CZ, which actually is going to be a very big part of this battle if he goes close and personal, because if he whips out his sidearm, which he may well do, he could win it, but it doesn't matter. He's going to drive by with the SMG, takes him down. Team Infused, the 4th round on the board for them. But let's talk about Fountain, because that was something you certainly were shocked by.
I haven't seen that one before. I don't
it's
think
basically taking the idea of standing in Fountain to the next level.
No, you used to stand, you used to stand behind the fountain. I knew that angle, but the thing is, there wasn't actually water flowing through the fountain on the previous iteration of Inferno.
Basically a permanent Molotov in terms of
like how it, you know. But the thing is, there wasn't water flowing through the old fountain. There was a few goldfish in the water, but that's about it.
Mate, it's all about the goldfish. Care about the fish.
1, 2, 3. Infused, 4 down, 4 up even. They take this one, which they probably shall. Only 2 sets of armor on the CT side. Deagles though, players like Robin, Batham, we saw some sick Deagle shots from them. Can they make it 4-1? Problem is, the chance of that is so unlikely going to this round as well. 5 rifles, so no AWP. Sometimes versus pistols, you see an AWP whiff and then get swarmed by pistols and give the CT side an AWP, and then, you know, when you got an AWP in your hands, anything can happen. Thing is for them though, it's going to be very, very hard for them to find kills across the board.
It's one hell of a theory, and it certainly could take hold, but for now, let's look at exactly what is actually taking place. It's Infused being very, very static in their approach towards Banana. They did this both in the rifle rounds, so they're doing the same thing when they're rivaling up against pistols, because they're going to be thinking to themselves, okay, they could have some Kevlar, so we do want to take this extra careful. And I like this from Infused. 40 seconds though, movement has to start to take hold.
It's they're being careful. They don't want to lose as many guns as they can. They want 5 rifles to stay alive. They want to build their bank and try and see what they can make from that.
Oh, Peter on towards short, spamming with a Deagle, but can't find anything at all. Awkwardness for him. Sliggy with a P250, trying to respond as well. Shaney, slam dunk on towards Shaq. Sliggy trying to make the best of the situation, but he's going to fall. And 1 by 1, Fish123 hit the chopping block. Perhaps we know why Inferno lost its goldfish, because Fish, they're out of this round.
They are indeed. Still, though, it was quite expected. If you're Fish123, you can't feel too disheartened if you field this round.
We'll get there in the end. It's all well and good.
I need to drink more water. I keep going off my words. Hopefully, though, Fish123 can bring this one back. Second buy round of the first half here on the second map, Inferno. First cast, bit shaky, but you know, maybe we'll see.
It's all well and good. You make up for your stuttering with your valid color points and all your information.
I just haven't had enough water. Just chill for this.
Just drink the water. It's all well and good.
I will once I stop talking. Don't worry. Oh. Anyway, second rifle round in Inferno. Let's see. No AWP on the T side. Expected. AWP T side is so difficult, so hard to find openings towards mid. So towards Apps. Mid because it's smoked off, Apps because it's close range, and Banana because typically it's smoked off and the T's don't want to overface. A lot of the times you wait to get your kills as they swarm the site. Shaney though, with this rifle, trying to take control of Apps, and once he has, how are they going to decide to play it mid?
That's the information I was talking about. Snots dropping bombs yet again. But it is going to be Team Infused. The barrage, they went through short splitting as well, through a long Lumgy. Going to find himself a quick trade onto it. Keep the Shack as well is going to try and do some work. Shaney going to do so much though. A double kill for him. Leaving just Fish123 to kind of go, okay, where's the band-aids at? Where's the support? So we're in a 2 versus 4. Trapped out of the site. Where in hell can they go? Well, the answer is back to saving, because these 2 rifles are going to be so pivotal going to the 7th round.
Fish123 falling flat on the 2nd rifle round as well. Infused showing prowess towards Banana. Instead this time, showing diversity as they can now attack the A bomb site. Fish123 playing very passive towards mid. Archway falling back instantly. Player playing towards short, fell back towards pit and site. Problem is, that means Infused, once they have control of mid, they can then swarm the site and play trades. The trading from Infused has been so good recently, actually. When I first casted them, it was here and there, right? You saw in Cobblestone how they'd all group up and then push, and that's how they found entries on their T side. Grouping together, similar to how Versus Pro T side works, where all the players are so closely knitted together. It's not all about firepower and tactics. You don't need the best aim in the world if you're just spraying down someone's body after they sprayed your teammate.
So nades are going to get thrown straight up through Bernard. It's going to be so much damage onto us. Lumgy, 6 HP, a rifle going to push on through, finds one. Aussie going to snap back in though as he picks up the trade. Throws out a flashbang in response as well. Makes sure that any further bait will be left uncontested. But Aussie, he's Molotov off.
Mate.
That is a flash. Not a smoke you were looking for. Pulling a bit of an Australian CS move, it seems.
Aussie turning into a Turkish kebab there. He's Turkish, what can I say? Gotta bring those ones in.
Gotta bring him in, tying in the resources. And Sliggy gonna hold tight now at this point. Fish123, the ball's in their court, right? They have the man advantage. They don't want to lose that.
Exactly. 4 versus 3. Still very winnable for Infused. You can see 3 UMP. So firepower, definitely an advantage here of Infused with the AWP as well. Shiki alone. Shin is alive, but Shiki is the AWP. I think he picked it up in the last round, but still, T-Stack here with good timing could take down Shiki. Completely stop the attack.
Talked about timing. There's a gap in that smoke, and Shiki almost certainly going to look to take advantage of it now as bit by bit he clears up these angles. A bit of pre-fire towards Coffin is going to let him down. This is CT side, they know exactly what is coming. The peak has to be perfect from Shaq. The smoke is going to be there to block him off, but a flash as well. This is great from him. This is where he can do his thing. Batham going to be there to wait. Shaq with a double kill. Batham with just the 1. But it all doesn't matter. Fish123, they tot it all up into one hell of a round. 1 to 6. This is their starting point. This is where it all begins. But at the same time, it can very quickly be ended.
It can indeed. Fish123 finally winning a round. 7 rounds into the first half. The problem is here, though, of course, you mentioned it. If things go south and they lose this one, there will be reset money reverted back to 1.4k round loss bonus, and that could potentially be where things get very, very pear-shaped for them. We could be seeing Infused reach 9 rounds already, just 10 rounds in. All to play for. If Fish123 lose this one, we could be seeing Infused running away with the half. If Fish123 can hold themselves together here, keep the composure, and try and chain rounds together to put up their bank and to slowly take away money from Infused, they might be able to get themselves back into this one.
Infused beginning their creep back up on towards Banana. It's almost like watching a game of StarCraft 2 at this point. Infused
so
just literally spend so much time. But the reason I dropped the StarCraft reference, if you know anything about kind of the Zerg race, you know that they just literally spread themselves everywhere. It's all about just getting that creep all over the map. And that's all Infused are doing, just inch by inch, taking map control. Look at Short. Look at Banana. It's literally identical. We finally see the biting point though. Shiki gonna pop up on towards Sliggy. Catching him well and truly off guard. Shaq is gonna be there to lurk on the other side of the smoke, just be the friendly greeting. But it isn't quite gonna happen just yet. That smoke is literally playing perfectly for him. It's gonna fade. Eventually a flash is gonna get thrown. Shiki is still standing, but eventually he's gonna give himself up. It will be a pinpoint frag for Shaq. It'll be 4 versus 4, but Banana is still being pushed. But with 18 seconds left, that Molotov could pretty much end this round.
It could indeed. 4 versus 4, 13 seconds on the clock now. Infused have to swarm this bomb site ASAP. The problem is Robin rotating in now. No Molotov, no smoke. 1 kill, 2 kill, 3, 4.
Robin, a quadra kill. Could he ask for anything more? The answer is flat out no. Beautiful little masterpiece in terms of the spray control there. Fish123, they get themselves 2 to 6 Infused. They're going to have to chalk that one up to some Robin Swedish masterpiece. As for now, they're contesting for their 10th round in terms of this matchup. Fish123 looking for their third, of course. Infused, well, they don't want to let these 6 slip on away. 6 is so good for them, but in this 10th, they could quite easily let it slip.
Thing is though, Fish123, they take that round. Insane spray there from Robin. And I have the Go TV bug, so I can't actually see that money. But I was about to say it's like,
Doesn't matter. Sliggy and Shaq both going to find picks here and there. The sudden dawn of realization that I've referred to it as a 10th round, even though it is the 9th.
I was going to say.
But it doesn't matter, the point still stands at least. A couple of flashes here and there, but nothing too crazy. Lumji this time, for the most part, walking forward without utility, just playing on the other side of this cart. Lumji gonna spot out Shaq, and that's going to net him the frag as he takes him down. A smooth little headshot. Aussie going to push right onto a smoke, and that's going to mean Sliggy is going to hit the deck. Leaving Keita playing from hit with the UMP. Finds himself 1 for his troubles, whips out his sidearm, tries to find a second, will pull through onto Lumji. Robin so close to Aussie, peeks on out, peekaboo, my friend, as Robin will land it, and Fish123, they get their third.
Infused now, the money is finally low for them. So many rounds in a row they've lost. So many rounds in a row they won. Initially it was 6-0 up. Fish123 win the quasi-buy, and from there they've managed to claw together 3 rounds. Thing is though, Infused already on 6, they've already got double the score of Fish123, so Fish finally getting rounds, just they needed them to get, or needed them to happen a little bit earlier.
Robin, gonna be the man to hold. Shield in one hand, rifle in the other, as he has to deflect a whole lot of Tech-9 aggression, but at the same time look for those picks. As here they come, and the ball is starting to roll. He finds the first, the Molotov going to be thrown down by Batham, the man from above to be the hero on top of these barrels. Robin still peeking, still fighting. Another on towards Lumji. Can he channel his inner DJ Khaled as these Tech-9s being a little bit more slower in their approach, but with 1 minute, why not?
45 kills in the first map. Is what they're repeating their performance. So much firepower from this one player, the Swedish star. Such a tragic story to what happened to him. But still, I'm so Fish123 don't feel so bad about it right now, having him in their squad.
Here the push though begins to formulate yet again. Robin still looking to just do all the work, and so he will. Batham gonna steal away his chances for the ace. But why not? Why not allow him to get a 4th at this point? He's so close. Cheeky gonna try and battle up against him, but Robin is too quick. He's too good. As Robin will win that duel every single time. As the scoreline gets turned on its head, 4 to 6. Everything Infused worked so hard to achieve. Their legacy on Inferno.
Oh,
just
what
2
legacy?
rounds away from getting broken to pieces.
That's the thing, right? I haven't seen Shiki play Inferno ever. I haven't played with Shiki on Inferno as well ever. So very strange to see how he plays, right? A lot of the times when you think of how Shiki IGLs, it's about contact plays, bursting sites. And you can see how it transitions onto Inferno in the early portions of the rounds where they'd group up towards B, they'd swarm bomb sites. Thing is though, can he change up his playstyle? Because right now Fish123, they have the answer. It's nades. You see what happens when they chuck the Molotovs, the flashbangs. Stunts the aggression from Team Infused, and that does grant them 4 rounds. Infused now going to have to change up their game plan because what they're doing so far was working. Fish123 have the answer.
A couple of smokes to go down, a couple of flashes to be popped. Snaky ready to peek just off of that balcony, but he's going to have a player which is perfectly positioned, but Aussie going to pop off. Shiki finds the trade though. Shaq there to at least snipe him with something for the Fish side. Sliggy as well, just filling the shoes. Off Shaq. Shaney going to secure that bomb plant. The position of Lumji is pivotal here, in fact, because if he shoulder peeks out, that's almost certainly a frag for him, but not only just a frag, it's information as he just waits for Sliggy to step into his crosshair, and so he will. Make that 1, make that 2, a double kill. Shiki gonna finish it all off in a nice little perfectly rounded box as he finds the frag on towards Robin.
Finally, Shiki and his teammates, Team Infused, claw themselves around after losing 4 in a row. They're making it 7 to 4. The buy coming out from both sides here. 5 rifles again. The AWP isn't really too strong here on this map on the T side, especially. You saw what happened. So easy for the T AWP to be timed. There's like, what? He's peeking into so many different angles. And speaking of the AWP, Shaney, the AWP of Infused on the AK, does drop to Robin. 1 minute 30 on the clock though, so things aren't so dire for Team Infused just yet. The problem for them is if they lose this and get reset, Fish123 could definitely be coming back fast. Robin shooting his AWP there and then rotates back towards Arch. They don't. He wants to be unpredictable.
He wants to be the man in the shadows and try and do so much for his team with so little. Unfortunately, that position, that overface, is enough to allow Shiki to dismantle him. But not only that, it's the pathway to heaven almost. The stairway for them is Infused are about to collapse on towards B, but the curveball is look at that bomb. It's going to try and go banana. Keita going to hold things off in the wrap behind. He knows exactly what's coming. One by one, they will fall. Keita, a double kill for him. Snaky will pick up the trade, but Batham is going to be there to still pin down this B site. They still haven't got control. And with 50 seconds on the clock, Lumji alone, a 1 versus 3. It's the same old sad story as he has his work cut out for him. Peeks around, player right behind him, and the timing. Batham picking up the headshot. Infused, you got yourself to 7. The Fish123 are going to respond.
The reset comes in that I spoke about. Fish123 can definitely claw themselves back now. If they get 6 here, then they've already got the 9-6 goal on them that I anticipated, right? If they can get to 7, possibly even 8, that's when things might get a bit dire for Infused. But then again, Infused are the team here. Fish123 are the mix. You anticipate them to have a better CT side than they do a T side. Maybe Sliggy and Co can surprise me though. Buys on the side of Infused. 1 set of armor there on Lumji. Pistols galore, Deagles. Can they find any entries?
Really a buy, much more of a light investment. It can be said. Tech 9s, P250s, Deagles, and I like, look for a couple of interesting headshots. But that is about it, and the way things are going right now, Robin is looking to pad his stats once more. Picks himself up 2 so far. Throws down a bit of utility as well to really drop the gauntlet on Infused and say, you can't go, or I'm not playing. As he just forces them back towards mid, back towards his crosshair. The box is there ready and waiting. He's going to begin his spray. Shaq going to steal 2 away as he plucks up Snaky and Lumji. Fish123 right here, right at the cusp of equalizing things. 7-7 is in this 14th round. Infused still have to wield those Tech 9s.
Exactly. Another buy here coming out from Infused. This is being the quasi buy so they can 4 buy into the next one. They're going to get 3.4k. Or sorry, 2.4k into the next one. So actually Shiki here on $1,000. Only going to have 3.4k going to the next one. Need some other than the UMP and nades. Fast aggression towards Abster. They want to have the close range duels. They know Sliggy's playing towards here. Will they be able to get the frag? And with that tag there, it's looking like they're bursting the bomb site.
Yeah, plays huge dividends. It allows Ozzy a quick hip fire shot onto a Sliggy in return, just right in the leg almost to take him down. Shaq is looking to be the pinnacle man, finds a double kill. Snaky though is going to pick up a trade, and that really helps out Infused as they can get this bomb down. They can position themselves appropriately as Fish123 are ready and waiting with 2 rifles. But a 1-man disadvantage is still going to be ever so concerning. Looking to go in together. They have a whole load of utility, but how can they even utilize that here? They can act as a smoke to cover off it. But a Molotov is moved around by Snaky, and this is so nice from him. Peeks up on the box, goes for the spray transfer. 12 HP was all the difference. He will fall, but Shiki, of course it's Shiki, to find the trade.
It is indeed. Infused winning that quasi buy there. The double entry towards a Aussie there. Killing the player that was initially headshot there. Sliggy perhaps trying to fall away, but couldn't quite get into a good position as they burst through that smoke. Find the 2 entries, swarm the site, and in the retake, Snaky there finding that second to last kill. Penultimate one. Then Shiki finding the final nail in the coffin. 6-8. Still a decent half here. Can T-Sec change that?
Oh, Shaq, this position could be so good for him. Looks to find 1, but unfortunately it's going to be quickly traded down. Snaky picked up a double kill of his own, and that brings things back to the 3 versus 3 situation, the predicament that this T-side now find themselves in. Because you look at where they're playing, you look at currently where they're sat, they could quite easily just push out a balcony and go on towards this A site, but then how do they deal with Robin? A man with a CZ, a man ready and waiting to take down Snaky. Does he realize there's a player right behind him though? As Lumji lurks in towards Pit, but Robin seems to have an inkling. AWP red, ready to shoulder peek out. And what is that peek? Great frag from him there. Shiki playing over towards stairs, now ready to peek out of this door. But Robin has secured this round practically now. Shiki, just 18 HP. How can there be any hope? He spots out the barrel of Robin, tries to go for the spray, but misses the shot, still missing the shots. Robin with the CZ. wins it with a triple kill.
He makes it look so easy. How many frags on now? Observe if we can get the scoreboard up. 21 for 9. I mean, he had 20 kills the first half of the other game on Cobble. Ended on 40, I believe it was around 45 in OT. Still though, Aussie on the flip side, 15 to 12. Strong showing from him. If he can keep up this form, he has had a frag around, and that's very, very difficult to keep. Let's see if momentum will shift though. Can Fish123 get the lead on their T side and potentially take the advantage?
It's also that question of, is Robin going to be able to transfer that raw aim ability over onto the
He's
second
done it
half?
one map and another half, so very, very likely so.
It's Inferno though, so all could change. It's a big question, one that we will get an answer to in this round at least, and kind of in the build-up for next year. Shaq is going to just run around with a Glock, lands himself all of the shots. Shady's going to pick up one, but Keita more than happy to oblige with a quick-witted trade, as it is going to be this T side running all over the place on this A side. Every single angle is covered at this point, even the off angles. There's Robin. Waits for Aussie, waits for him to run into his arms, and yet again, it's just another same old frag. Shiki, man left in a 1 versus 3. We've seen it time and time again. I'd love to see some impact, but a clutch here, too much to rest.
He does indeed. Basically now the off flanker will take down Shiki. Pistols go 1 for 1. 8-8 is the scoreline, and Fish123. Now they've won their T-pistol. Should get the subsequent 2 following this, as long as they don't give up the force buy. Infused here, they really do need this one. They were 6-0 up, 7-4 up, 8-4 up, and from there they're now in the position where it's looking like they might be in the deficit.
Shaney, gonna get led. It's a little bit of a nade, doesn't take really any damage at all, but enough to force him away from that peak, which allows Robin to be there with the UMP to just try and tag on through. Of course, it is going to be Aussie as well to face up towards Banana. That's an easy pick for Robin to find. Molotov is going to go out to try and clear out these corners, and I like what Shiki's doing here. He's realised that, hold on a second, I'm the last man on this B site. I am the anchor. I am the force that pretty much means that if I fall, Fish123 win the round, because they'll be on the B site and these pistols will not be able to get close. So he decides, I need to get on this site, I need to sit tight in a corner, and I need to just wait for my team to get the rotate in from CT, which is now what we're seeing take hold. Snakey, Shaney, the duo, Lumji as well. So much reliance. But then there's the concern of, have they just fallen for one big ruse from Fish123? Is this just a giant bait?
Potentially. We saw Infused do the exact same to Fish123 on their T side in this exact same round, the second round. Fish123 caught, well not caught, sorry, took the bait, stacked B, and then Infused ran towards A, exactly as we're seeing Fish123 do here. Infused though, they can save this. If they save, they're still going to have 3 sets of armor, 3 5.7s into the next round, and they're still going to get the round loss bonus, so risk is definitely warranted. I mean, it's high risk. Sorry, it's, well, 50-50 risk, and what do you lose, okay? If they come to your bomb site, you've got 4 players here, high chance of winning. If they don't, well, it's fine. We'll just save and try again.
The interesting thing, those fish, they're hungry for money. You see dollar bills flashing in front of their eyes. And this is why they're actually pushing with a reverse take on towards his B site. Slicky to find one, but is quick met with a pistol of Snaky. So damage to be inflicted, and Lumji very long range. Questionable stuff from him. Somehow he gets away with it. 2 new pistols could make that work. Cheeky. And Co will collapse on towards Keita as well. Infused getting a lot more impact out of this round than arguably they should have been able to.
Yep, Infused take down 3 rifles of Fish123, and that may actually impact them further on into the half. 3 sets of armor saved. 2 SMGs and a 5.7 ball. This round for Infused, if they can get, you know, a repeat of that, leave Fish123 on 2 rifles again, the money for Fish just can't build. They can't slowly increase their economy, and that means later on, when it gets that first buy round, if they lose it, that's when things can really go south.
South indeed. Early seconds though into the round. Nothing too crazy unfolding. Banana control completely being given up. Allowing Shaq to begin his push. Of course, Infused. They know they're at wit's end here when it comes down to firepower and equal balance. Instead of being very selective in the angels they want to fight. Aussie, just this pistol though. This is going to be so tough for him to hold things off. He needs to search for the 1-taps. We'll be able to find one on towards Shaq. It's already a great little start. Going to prompt the rotate as well from his teammates. Perhaps on the ladder end. Or a quick mid push in fact. But that actually plays into the hands of Matham. He picks up a very easy double. Sliggy holding for Snaky. And bit by bit, a round that could have been doable by Infused quickly It's shut on down.
Only one gun. 4, 3. Robin will find that plus Aussie. Basin finds the final one. Now we are going into the first fire round of the second half. Infused definitely didn't expect to be 2 rounds in the deficit in this situation at this point in the match. Still, they did good economical damage, but still though, T-Sack is the only player that can't buy into the next round, so Infused they need to stack and chain 2 rounds together, make it 10-10, break the money of Fish123. If they can get to that position, then they can get their, you know, foot forward, take the lead, see if they can carry it forward, carry it through.
Still starting off strong, right?
Yeah, and 5 rifles on both sides, so could be seeing more of a thought-out play, flushing angles. They're going to be anticipating Infused on an AWP. They would have expected Shani to save, full save. This 5 rifle setup might actually catch them off.
Robin, a very risky jump there, was nearly going to enable Infused to punish him for that. Sliggy, meanwhile, looking to play an old faithful angle, one that he's actually been able to do a fair bit from.
Oh, yes indeed. Still though, you can see how slow and thorough they have to be. They're so scared of an AWP, and once this attack comes in, Aussie in this position, he's going to save the smoke, he has a flashbang. Very high chance of him to shut down the push here from Fish123. And then finally, Infused, they're going to start winning rounds. Can they chain them together?
Certainly, just another question right on the tip of your tongue. The answer? You thought it would come soon. Well, it will be within the next 35 seconds. But Fish123 following the old-fashioned, being very, very slow. Aussie on top of this flower pot. Can he daisy his one around this? He looks to be so good. I don't know what is going on. That could have been so strong. But these guys can't spray. Aussie's going to find himself at least one, a bare minimum, but Shaq, up on that elevated angle, just taps on towards Shaney, pitting the city side now in a very awkward angle, and you can already see them just backing on off. They realized, hold on, we can't retake this.
Yep,
Can't do anything here, and I have to go back towards that flower pot angle.
I mean, you saw he just swung his crosshair so far to the right, far too far, because, yes, if he's running and he's not being shot at like Sliggy is doing to Lumji, anyway, if he's not being shot at, right, then yeah, he moved his mouse correctly. The problem is when you land a bullet, you tag up the player so they're slowed. You have to adjust your aim for that. Instead, over faces, over swipes. It's not Tinder, mate. Don't swipe right.
Perhaps at this point, they can try and hope for a bit of a super-like. This is 11-8. Things are looking pretty awkward for them now. The first date went badly. The second date starting to fall to pieces. Who knows where the third is going to go?
Who knows indeed. Then again, though, if you wanted to get your predictions out, 2 rifles, pistols on the remaining players. It's looking like Fish123 going to reach 12 here, as long as they keep up their playstyle, which is slow, methodical CS, which is the word I kept forgetting earlier, methodical. Flash angles, molly out certain positions. Try your best to have as many players stay alive. I say that a lot, but it's very important.
Robin playing over towards the banana, ready and waiting to put himself into 6th gear, as the rest of his team are all ready behind him. He's the catalyst for them almost. He's the man that kind of gets them into play. He opens things up. They close things down. Shiki there to try and peek one out, but a smoke. The perfect opposition. So there's nothing he can see through that. It is going to be Robin to create a gap as well. Aussie in that smoke is almost certainly going to die the minute that even begins to fade. A flash is going to get thrown. He pushes. They have no idea what is going on. Robin going to open things up. Shiki more than likely going to fall in the process as well as Robin. He hits these. He wins these shots, and so he will.
Double entry there from Robin. Anticipating a CT push towards Banana, and actually get more than just that. It's the third, still pushing as well. Flash comes in, refacing towards CT spawn. Very aggressive, very frag hungry. Then again, this could be an ace here.
It's not the first time. I don't think, or the third time we even tried to say that at this point. Robin has been
Let's take a look. Can we
so
take a look at
close
the
to
scoreboard,
so
please,
many of those
observer?
different moments.
John, at Vicious Horizon, can we please see the scoreboard?
There you have it.
29 to 11. What?
He's unstoppable.
What? That's mad. I mean, if you add up, right, T-Sack, Sliggy, and the player at the bottom of the scoreboard there, that equals the same frags as Robin.
I mean,
One
just
less.
look at the
Sliggy
side of
keeps
Infused and go,
yeah.
you know, you're looking at that same argument, but on a much bigger scale. And I think at this point,
11 deaths as well.
I have to ask the question of you: would you actually swipe right on Infused CT side? Because it's not looking like something you could be into at all.
I don't know really. This is the problem. You're playing versus Robin, who's basically more firepower than any other player in the UK has. If you minus him, then who knows? Shaney knows.
Yeah, Shaney gonna start off strong. Takes down Slicky. Not quite the man we were discussing, but a man that can be taken down.
Who's that jumping in like that? Is that Keto the orb? Oh my god, Bunny upping forward, trying to get the refrag onto Shaney.
It's Foon in the making. What can I say? Tries to go on foot for this push. Is just gonna creep around this corner. But nothing is gonna work. Meanwhile, Robin. Oh, just doing Robin things.
Yep, looking towards the other portion of the map. Fills a very similar role that Nico does for Mouse Sports. The rest of the team goes one half, and he finds openings, just like that, towards the other portion of the map, that is the B-bomb site. Now you've got the player Arch, he's going to have to rotate. Look, he's going towards Archwayne, he's going slowly towards B. That means Robin and Co can rotate A. One less player there. Much higher chance to win the round. Robin's done his job. And actually, they're going towards B.
I think that's because they feel so much more comfortable on this B site in terms of just the entry power. Think about it. You've got Keita now walking up with his AWP. Shaney rotating with an AWP himself. That AWP could actually be more of a detriment than a helping hand on this rotate.
Potentially, though. They know that there's two players. They saw a smoke from one player, that was Shaney, and they saw a nade, and then they heard the steps of the player on site. They know there's only two players A. Can they swarm him and take him?
Keita. Caught off guard by Lumji. Swings out wide. More Shaq and Robin both combined to do some damage in towards Pit. Lumji still standing there. He's doing so much here. The bomb has been completely struck out of this one. Robin is going to pick it up though. But this is Robin we're talking about. A man who's been playing for aces. Surely a 1 versus 2 is certainly doable for him. We're about to wait and see. Nice little angle to be held. Very, very patient here. Does have time to work with. The CT side, though, they have utility. They have a Molotov flash, frag grenade, and a smoke. So between them, they could really try and make something work here. Robin, meanwhile, going to drop one of his own. Wants to play around this almost. It's in the suspicion of doubt. On towards Infused. As they throw down a smoke of their own, drop it onto the bomb. Robin now spots them out. Nearly gets a spray there, but isn't able to do it. Look at the time. Shaney has to stick this. Robin's just going to push her forward. He's just going to spray. I said Robin wins these.
34
Here's the
kills.
ace. There is the ace.
34 frags, 22 rounds in. What?
Who's going to stop this man?
Don't know, mate, because someone... I mean, it's such a sad story behind Robin, with what happened early on in Counter-Strike CSGO, and why he has to be in these UK leagues, and why he has to be playing in these situations, because there's so many pro teams that have looked at him.
At this point,
He's going for 40 before regulation, I guarantee it.
He just wants to wreck them at this point. It is looking like a pretty cut and dry stomp from Fish on their T side. Have they actually dropped around yet? Can't quite recall.
No,
nope.
none at all. So frag hungry now, Robin. He knows 40 is just on the cusp. Molly towards.
It's got to be sad for Infused if you kind of clock onto that realization that Robin is just pushing you for frags at this point, though, just to get stats on the board.
Yeah, I mean, then again, just finds so much for his team.
He just helps them in every single scenario. We saw him pull them away towards B. We saw him get the entry picks on towards A. He can then clutch rounds as well. He's the player that you want in every single circumstance. Instead, we're on a standard team. You have some guys who you want late rounds, some guys who are not as strong in those clutch situations. Robin is just a masterclass of how to hone your skills.
Yeah, he now has more kills than 3 of his players combined.
There's a phrase that comes to mind of...
carry.
Or carry. Certainly carry. Snaky
what?
actually getting away with that. Okay.
1 HP?
Okay, Snaky.
I thought the round... Honestly, I thought the round was over. I'm looking at my other monitor. I'm working out the money. I'm thinking about that. He does that. I'm so sorry when you watch this VOD back, Snaky. Sick round, mate.
I'm gonna be horrible though. I'm gonna be the much more negative.
Oh yeah, he shouldn't have won it. Let's be real. He shouldn't have won it.
Not only that, but does it change anything?
Gives more rounds for Robin to get 40.
Yeah, that's kind of. Again, that's a really depressing point, I think. In this 23rd round.
Then again, though, Fish123 now, they can reset the money for Infused. So even though Snaky won it, they could be blessed with a curse with that one. Because if they lose this round, Fish get 14, money reset for Infused, that could be it. GG, well played.
Well, there's only one way to find out. It is going to be Robin. Making sure that he goes aggressive in towards Banana, just clearing out these angles. Molotov as well to aid in that. As he makes sure Sandbags is going to be clear. An angle that Infused do tend to worm their way into. If that's going to be another bad smoke, I just want to question Infused for that. I mean, that's the 7th time we've seen that down now.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get a balanced smoke there. Leaving that gap literally plays into the arms of Robin. He's the sort of man that will one-tap you through those gaps. Through those tiny little crevices.
Exactly. But still, Batham now being the player to lurk on the other half of the map. Lumji here, good position towards Boiler, spots the head and takes down Batham. That'll be the first kill now. 1 minute into the round. Very slow round indeed. Now they know Batham's dead. Smokes come through. Will they have a player rotate from Arch to come B?
They do some support pretty quickly as Fish123 beginning. Very fast push. Robin unable to find a practice hit. He's actually going to be traded out very, very early, but this is Shrek we're talking about. He's starting to channel some of that Swedish magic. He finds himself a double kill, gets the bomb plant. So now it's a 3 versus 3. The CT side have to get themselves in a very fast retake situation. They do have 2 kits in play. Lumji, a duel on towards Shaq will take him down. But Keita and Sliggy are still standing. So much damage done by that frag grenade. The flash is going to get popped in the air. That's going to slow them even further. This is an angle that Sliggy can continually fight from. Eventually, he will be traded by Snaky. But then look at Keita. He's going to wait for them. And he's going to be doing all of the work. Goes for a spray, but oh no, Keita. He can't land the follow-up. A round that could have been won. He's actually going to favor Infused. Now we have to cut it all. We have to think back and go, hold on a second. This isn't done and dusted.
Nowhere near. Fish123 needs 3. Infused needs 6. The buy comes up from Fish123. They have the rifles, they have the utility.
The bomb plants as well. They've been able to get a bomb plant in every
exactly.
single round they've lost. So that really is the saving grace for their economy.
So much pressure. Fish123, with the money they've had, they can apply so much pressure onto the CT economy. Infused, winning a 1 versus 1. You can see Famas is brought up there. They've actually, chained rounds together. They've won 2 rounds in a row, and they're still forced on Famas's. And rifles, and no AWP for Shaney. Robin again trying to go towards B and find an entry. But you can see how passive they're playing. Infused, they know if they let up any early kills, it's so much easier for Fish123 to capitalize off that and then take and swarm that B bomb site. But still, T's nowhere to be seen apart from Banana. No presence towards apps, no presence towards mid. This could be very easy for rotations for the CT side as soon as these nades come in.
It's all a bit simple CS in the grand scheme of things, right? These guys on the terror side are chowing in one angle, one choke point. Although I know a map that is known for those. Robin going to be tucked kite into that corner. Flash is going to go on out. Can Sailors one through this? Aussie as well. Such a good angle, but every single time they've played this one, it's never done anything at all. But this is his time to shine. So much damage, but only able to find one. Shiki over, pops it out, but he's going to be headshot by Sliggy. Shaq now lurking in the shadows, gets himself quickly into Banana. Much better after plants for Fish. Much more difficult for Infused to play. Lumji already beginning to move. Gets a 1 versus 1 on towards Shaq, though Shaq for some reason peeking it. Meanwhile, look at Batham. So confident. A nade landing both of their feet now. That's going to do a little bit of damage on towards Lumji and Snaky. But what a counter boost. Sliggy has no idea what to expect. Batham going to pick up 1 in the process, but that is not enough to seal the deal. Infused. We started to laugh. We started to almost belittle them. But this is 13-11.
I know, this is getting very, very close now. Fish123, the money for them is still actually pretty decent. 7,000 nearly on Robin. He can drop over a rifle.
Talk about the bomb plants.
Yeah,
Every single round they've lost,
that's
they've
the
got
thing,
another bomb plant.
Bomb plants. They are losing their retakes. They're getting into the bomb sites. They're finding multiple entries. Sliggy and T-Sec finding kills apiece. How are they losing all of these retakes? All these afterplants going in the favor of Team Infused. The AWP isn't even needed because what's an AWP when you're retaking that B bomb site? Shenny's needed with the rifle instead.
Yeah, no, I like the decision from both of these teams in terms of the AWP play, or kind of the less of it, to be blunt about it. We haven't really seen it too much at all. Well, 13-11 either way. Fish123 beginning to show signs in the breaking of their economy. Looking at those 2 Tech 9s on Slicky and Shaq. So every single round becomes that a little bit more important now, as if they drop this, you're still looking at Infused getting not only the 12th, but well and truly on their way to build up the momentum to pass on to 13. And once they get to 13, who knows where they can go. It's a big question. It's a big result. But this Inferno matchup is closer than it's ever been before.
Still though, game is close, but the firepower utility, the buys are not. 2 Take 9s, 3 AKs, and then 4 set of rifles for the Infused side, but still, how important is rifle is going to be for the CT side. Cheeky towards Emo, his teammate is on new box. This is all a ruse, they're actually heading towards the A-bomb site, but the CTs, they know what's on.
And they know exactly what is coming their way. Shaney needs to be very, very careful that he doesn't get sandwiched. Meanwhile, Umji gonna have to be a huge supporting figure for Snaky here as this push is gonna come directed right at him. Finds himself one. Meanwhile, Shaq with the Tech 9 finds one in return. Umji picking up a double kill. But Keita is popping off right now. Robin gonna take down Shaney. Leaving him in a 1 versus 1. 5 seconds. Has to get that bomb down right now, and so he will. But his back is gonna be turned. Aussie will take him down. 13-12.
My. Bomb down again. The problem for Fish123 is that their money was low beforehand. This is looking like it might become 13-13. Infused rallied behind that 1 versus 2 from Snaky, and since then, everything's changed. Multiple rounds in a row. They've won 4 in a row, but look, 4 defuses as well. So far, we've had 10 played rounds on the second half. The bomb has gone down 7 out of those 10 rounds. And Infused have won 4 retakes in a row.
Still just another buy from Fish. 4 rifles for Tech 9. It's actually better than what they had in the previous round. Infused, similar sort of standpoint, of course, starting to really push on up to the scoreline. But Fish, 3 is all the gap for them. 3 is what they need. 3 is what they so dearly require. Shiki, Aussie. This crossfire is still vintage Inferno. And it was so strong back then, and it's so strong right now. 3 kills across the board. Shaq finally going to find the trade. Robin just another. But at 2 versus 3, you can't be telling me that this retake will be failed from Infused. Shaq and Robin would have to go absolutely huge to hold this one out. But hey, this is Robin and Shaq we're talking about. Players who have been whipping up these 3Ks, whipping up these aces. So
And
let's
the
see.
CTs as well, they're all rotating in through CT. One that goes up towards the church, towards a portion of this site. Robin now playing close pull. They know exactly where the CTs are. T-Sack can just line them up here.
This is almost the perfect read. They couldn't ask for anything better. It hasn't fallen apart. It asked if it would happen. And there's your answer. 14-12. A triple kill from Shaq. A double from Robin.
2 versus 4, that's how they do it. Always going towards that B-bomb site. The retakes towards A have gone so heavily in favor of Infused. But finally, the bomb goes down and there's no answer. And actually, the money on the CT side, you see, this is the problem. 1 versus 1s, 1 versus 2s, 2 versus 2s. You win 4 in a row, you're broke. They're going to play for OT. They've got confidence after winning 4 in a row that they can do it again, that they can win 3 this time. Robin needs 1 more frag to make 4. That's it, 40.
Slam dunk. Shiki knocked down to 14 HP by a frag grenade.
He's barely dying as well. If only this was on HLTV.
Oh, I'd be loving that rating right now. I'm sure he would.
Anyway, though, the buy is still decent on the Infused side. Decent in the sense of armor and pistols. Quasi buy.
What they lack in firepower, they have in some form of utility on towards Snaky, the one man to actually have anything at all really worth discussing in terms of the frag grenade, double flash, and the smoke. Aussie, of course, the deagle up towards Coffin. An angle that could be very, very fun to play, but also one that your head tends to get chopped off on when you're playing up against a player like Robin. 5 versus 3. A dink on towards Sliggy. A flash to out from Snaky. Does find one in the process of a push. Well, a second seems like one hell of an ask, but hey, picked up a rifle.
What?
He's actually tapping head left, right, and centre. Does so much damage on towards Sliggy at 4 HP. Lumgy through the smoke. This is doable. It's all down to Snaky. Shaq, elevated angle yet again. Looks to get up on top of these barrels. It is going to be a counter boost to come out, but this is red by Shaq. He finds the 1 versus 1 now. 25 seconds or so rolling up on the clock. Tries to bait out Shaney with that plant. Doesn't quite come on through. Shaq's pushing this. He wants to wrap around here.
There it is.
He's read this. And there you have it. 15-12. Fish123. It took them a damn good while to get here.
Oh, Robin giving it in chat as well. Don't want to read out what he just said, but still. 15 to 12, 3 rounds. Infused need in a row right now to bring it back to OT, a second OT. These have been long, drawn-out games here. You got to be thinking as well if you're Infused. Would Fish123 really be on match point right now if it wasn't for Robin? No.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly standard answer to find, but I mean, why belittle Robin's play? He has been absolutely impeccable.
Still though, forced by now into the final one. Infused need to take it on 2 pistols, an SMG, a scout, and a rifle.
Do you fancy these odds?
Not really. Depends if they can find the first kill, work off that, potentially.
Look at Snaky stepping up and going huge now. We saw him do so much damage in that round to make it, you know, possible at least. And then also that clutch as well that kind of allowed Infused to get up this high.
Exactly.
Great play from Snaky as an individual is really kind of what we're hinting at there. Unfortunately for Ozzy, he's done. He's dusted. Shiki has to step up on towards Fountain. He's hiding in the water. Does go for a long spray, but it's all but a miss. Damage is not what they need. Impact is what they're searching for. It's a 5 versus 3. Shady, they go so aggressive with the scout. Finds a body shot on towards Robin. But these rifles are dead set, one direction. Infused, they are done.
Still, there is a retake. Infused won 4 of them previously, but Slicky here holding the smoke will find that kill onto Snaky. Shani does find one of the T-Sack, but that will be it. GG.